Namo
Guru Dev
Om Namo Hardkure Name Jugatkure Name Satkure Name Sri Guru Dev Name Hardkure Name Jugatkure Name Satkure Name Sri Guru Dev Name Hardkure Name Jugatkure Name Satkure Name Sri Guru Dev Name.
Breathe. Hey, God bless you. And here's Aagia PAL. Hi, dear.
Hi. Yeah, thanks. Everything seems to be happening at the same time today.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Okay. And we're also so grateful to have Jagat Gurukar.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she's usually as an angel. Okay. Okay. Can we see the message now?
Absolutely. Okay, can we see this?
Yes.
All right. New Heart Intelligence and Evolutionary Waves, Part 3. Tune in. Message. Dear light workers, haven't we seen cleaning out the chaos to be able to build into our evolution? Today, we are learning how to do that for each of us. Listen and share. Oops. Our video. So, as you know, we will see the third or last section from our same video for this date, August 12th, for
Okay.
humans, how to help.
I'm sorry. Did we talk about share, listen and share?
Oh, do you want to do sharing right now?
Yes, please.
Okie doke.
Okay. So now, let's see.
Oh,
Okay, this is from last, remember for the second part. Can you all remember that? Are there certain amazing or whatever to have seen you last week? Can you?
well,
Huh?
for me, the cleaning house part was really relevant. That thing about cleaning the temple that Baba gave me the message to clean the temple, and that then I had that um I just played in my mind, the vision of cleaning his statue in Altamonte that I used to love to do so much. And I would take care of the one in Millis too, but it wasn't as big or as, like the one in Altamonte had its own whole ecosystem almost. There were those creatures in the garden and so for me, I had the image of like cleaning the house. So um, things have been coming out of the woodwork in my house, but also I have kind of made like a shift to a more intuitively plant-based diet for myself for right now. And that
Mhm.
doesn't mean I'm going to do that forever. It's just that that's what I'm doing for right now. And it's feeling really wholesome for me, I guess. And that's been part of the cleaning house and that I've been doing. Can I
Wonder.
tell this? Can I tell this story? I want to tell this story. I feel about do you so when Bubba's statue was in Altamont, it was right before I started cleaning the statue. This is exactly how it happened, was that Hadi Simran went in and asked before class, is there somebody who would clean the statue? And I had been wanting to because it was looking really grubby, like grubbier and grubbier, and I was going in to meditate, and it was just like, ugh. But I felt like you can't just start to clean other people's backyards, like you just, even if I wanted to. And then she came in and asked before class, and I was like, yes, me, it's me. So anyway, so I went and Baba completely arranged the timing of this because I went the first time and I got there and the men with the leaf blowers were just about to start. So I'm like, well, there's no sense in me doing this right now because they're gonna blow all the dust right in there. It doesn't even, like wait and come back. So I came back a couple of days later and I did it and Mahan Kalpa came, he was visiting, like he was never ever there that day. But anyway, what had happened, I guess I don't remember how the sequence went, but the reason that it was looking so grubby was that there were a couple of teenage boys who had run away from home and they were sleeping in the pagoda and they were putting their cigarette ashes in between the floorboards of Baba's pagoda. So it was looking very ashy and they were sleeping in there and bringing their dirty boots and things like this inside, and so that's why it was looking so especially grubby. And when I was sitting and meditating with Baba, what he showed me was really that he missed the boys and that he loved being able to give them shelter like that. Um, he really touched and affected them and he really really loved them and he missed them when when they were gone, and it felt the same to me, like sometimes I felt like I would just drag myself in there with all of these whatever was heavy on my heart, and and it felt like there was this action of cleaning the temple by being close to Baba like that. It felt like I don't quite know, but you could see that it was from these boys' shoes all over, all of the dross that they had shaken off in their adventure had accumulated, in his pagoda there, and that's I guess part of why I was attracted to taking care of it too in that way. Anyway, I had really wanted to tell the story about Baba
Oh,
liking those
lovely.
boys.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, and just for a little bit of moment, just send heart breath to those boys. Maybe maybe they're uh, men by now. Just send them.
I'm sure they are.
Yes, okay. So just send some heart breath. Okay. Inhale, exhale, and breathe. Don't they feel better, like crystal?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, so Aagia PAL. This is from last week. And what did you find?
Yeah, so interesting. I found I've been connecting more, or at least attempting to connect more with Pleiadians and Arcturians, and I was led to this video, and it was David Clements. It was a meditation that I posted, right, and he was connecting with the Arcturians, and I found it tremendously helpful and peaceful and powerful. And excuse me. So I'm just with the Arcturians. I found myself opening up to source intelligence, to source energy, and I feeling my self, my heart expanding. There's a bit of impatience with that, and like and perfectionism. In other words, I don't feel like I'm really doing, I'm really connecting, but yet I am. Anyway, so that's where I am. I guess I could say that I've been opened more to ETs as a result.
Wonderful.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so now, Gian Dasprem.
Satnam. So for me, it was there were just so many reminders of synchronicities within the conversation, and for me, it was going back and noticing some of my memorable dreams and my memorable actual lifetime experiences were day and night. Um, and there were a lot of reminders in the links that are the binding connections and reminding for me the healing, and facing what's coming forward. And it was for me noticing some of the new studies of for me recently is the how the home and the body have a significance, and then that correlation with the other life. And for me, I was watching a couple of like the deep universe, so like how life travels and how it can live on certain places. So um for me it was noticing my diet, and it brought me to the food charts that you would have when you were younger to see these are the types of foods that are good for this, good for that, and all the other things. So reminded for me that the body is a temple, and that dreams in life are still life or alive, and the lasting works of the reminders are also here for us to work through our body, and noticing the changes that happen within that development, and maybe keeping a list of that a little bit more. So I've been writing down the daily reminders have seemed to help through the reminder in the group that it's a physical action that works out into coming into that electrical field again, and the way light travels and how information travels and how it's there at some place that we're able to access, and however we're accessing it through that, we can do that. And for me, I've been noticing that I always used to name things, and that's what I've been told to pull away from, the opinions and the naming of things, and to just go more with the flow and to notice the energy. And that's how it seems to come around and to show itself, however that may be, and we can notice that through nature and through our own way of being alive during our eye open time. So more of the conscious part of the vibration coming through for that way of the freedom to open a little bit more. Yeah. And for me, it's just been drawing, trying to draw shapes that I'm maybe not familiar with, and going back to some of the guides that we had when we were younger. So tracing and facing were the two words I came out with. Yeah. Thank you so much. Waheguru.
Good. Thank you so much. Okay. And Harimandir.
Yeah. The mention of cleaning house, essentially, not getting attached to, well, I guess it was something like you see the rubbish more as it leaves. And in my house, there I have since mid-January, papers everywhere on every flat space all over, and nothing has been picked up. But even though this is the most stressful but full couple of weeks before the ending of my project of trying to preserve a green space downtown on a hill, I have noticed that I am cleaning little tiny places that have nothing to do with the papers, but cleaning them anyway. And it's not on the agenda, but it's on the larger agenda. The other thing is that people are leaving, and I was taken out of the things I was supposed to do yesterday with a homeless friend who was medevaced up to Anchorage with a very damaged liver, such that it even affects her mind because the liver can't clean as well as possible. And so that affects the brain. She's an alcoholic and maybe near death, but she has made it through other near death experiences. So, and the one that really kind of it shook my goddaughter in Red Lake, Minnesota, Ojibwe. Her husband, they haven't been living together for a long time, but he was beaten up yesterday to the point that he was brain dead, and she had to make the decision to let him go. And that happened yesterday. So I'm wanting to check in with you on.
Can we chant Akal? That's just terrible.
Yes, please. And
Okay. Now, I want to know something.
Yes.
What about your granddaughter? Didn't she die?
My godmother, my daughter's godmother, also died. Yes. And that was a couple of weeks ago, and her whole family came up to Alaska. And so I have three goddaughters, and my daughters have two separate godmothers. So yes.
Okay. Go ahead.
Okay, so a call for Jeff Brunn is his name, who died yesterday from having
been beaten senseless.
Oh my God. Is that because there were, because of Indians as well?
He is native, yes.
Okay.
And they live on a reservation. And I don't know where it happened. I just got it late last night that he had been beaten up and was then brain dead.
Okay. God bless you. Okay. So let's do 3 Akals.
Okay.
Okay. And now breathe. Inhale. Oh. And breathe. Continue heart breath. And continue with your own self to remember to continue that, because this is what's happening with our native people and all of those karmas from us. Okay, so just continue a little heart breath. And inhale. And continue. Because, as you know, we need to let go of native peoples, those karmas from us. Okay? And continue that. Okay. Thank you, Harimandir.
Thank you.
Okay. Is there somebody else? I think we did everybody. Okay. So now, Japa Saraswati. Oh, there you are. Okay. So continue. Okay. Japa Saraswati, please.
I was on mute. I was reading it and I was on mute.
Okay. Go ahead.
Our video. So, as you know, we will see the third or last section from our same video for this date at August 12th, 2026, for Humans How to Help. This video is called A New Heart, Intelligence, and Evolutionary Waves with David Clements and Pam Gregory. So we watched the first 2 segments, and today we'll see from 56 minutes onward. And I sent that to everybody's text message, so you all have a link for it. After that, Aagia PAL will lead us for 1 minute of heart pumping, which is heart breath with breath of fire. Then use the 2 parts for this meditation for dynamite diamond. 1 minute, begin heart breath. Listen from your divine intelligent voice to decide who or what will move toward your Healy's meditation. Your Healy could be either from another Healy or from yourself, or focus might even change from different Heelys during the meditation. Then 3 minutes, strongly focus from your third eye energies to direct your diamond light beam that looks like a small, brilliant, compact, laser-like power light dot, your diamond, that seems to come from the center of your universe. That energetic diamond is toward your Healy. If you need to have too much energy power from your third eye, dynamite, then change to use less energetic power by using heart breath. Don't blow your circuits, but continue to keep up your meditation. Siri Gian leads CNR for 5 minutes of consciousness no reality, which is strong heart breath, belly breath, nose inhalation 6 seconds, nose exhale 6 seconds, from out of your heart center, complete love, slide from fear, let go from any of your nasty, difficult old stuff, just be peace, no normal reality, no thinking or everyday self, be present, but only feel, just be light. Then spend 2 minutes to become awareness and understand what happened from everyday self. Use your notes. Listen and share. Lots of love, Siri Gian.
Wonderful. Thank you, dear. Okay, so now we're on the third section. Oh, and we call that, wait a minute. No, look at that again.
You want which one do you want again? The video?
Yeah, wait a minute. Maybe I'll just find this. Oh, wait a minute.
Is it the video that you want or the text? Because I can bring that one too.
Okay, it's the same video, but this one says for this section, for humans, how to help. Number 3. And begin.
Humanity, I guess, in a way, or as it has been. And I can say I found this in my life as well, from my early goings on, through many
Wait a
years.
minute.
It's a real
I can't hear.
series of walls, and in the
Can
end,
you make it more? Hello?
Yes, can you hear me?
No.
Hold on. I'm
Mhm.
working on it.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. I'm going to go on mute and see if that helps.
I had my hissy fits and all sorts of language and everything of going through some very
It's
difficult
still pretty
times.
low.
I settled down and my higher self would come in and say, "Now do you understand? Now do you see?"
That's better.
I understand now. Sorry. It's like, but they don't mean it like that. They were saying, you have to just settle down, let all the emotions, fall off, let them, that they're calling them dark holographic aspects. It goes into human perception tuned. You want the new energies, but it's still an offering. They're saying they offer this information to help you better understand and become calmer, more settled, more serene in your own consciousness when you become unsettled, because it is just old artifacts, old ways of seeing things. Because sometimes we see things in ways that we really don't want to see any different. We really want to see it like this, we can get quite staunch about it, that's kind of humanity, I guess, in a way, or as it has been. And I can say I found this in my life as well, from my early goings on, through many years. I had some real slammers of walls, and in the end, after I had my hissy fits and, all sorts of language and everything of going through some very difficult times, I'd settle down and my higher self would come in and say, now, do you understand? Now, do you see? And I said, right, I understand now. Sorry. It's like, but they don't mean it like that. They were saying, you have to just settle down, let all the emotions, fall off, let them come out, then settle. Then you have the pond stills and you can see everything clearly. Now you can see what was really going on. And that's the difficult part for people when you're going through the motions. I find it's good practice, just to allow it, let it be, enjoy the fact that this is coming out. Don't embroil in it, don't engage in it, do not identify with it. Just let yourself settle, go out for a walk, get in nature, just do something, just say, yep, it's there, it's doing its thing. And that in itself can be a bit of a practiced art, because we're so used to directly engaging with things and, a lot of people, I used to do quite a bit of that when I was younger, and it didn't help at all. As people know, all it does is it takes you deeper and deeper and deeper into that spiral. It takes you a little bit longer to come out when it uncoils. And so this is the thing that I would recommend to people from my own experience, is that whenever this stuff comes up, just allow yourself to feel the yuck. It is offloading, and the more you can do that, the more graceful because it's like a practiced art. The more you practice doing that, it will become more natural, more, what you do normally. And this stuff will just come off you so quickly. And it will feel like, oh yeah, that used to take weeks of bothering and everything to go through. Now it's like 2 minutes, it's out and it's gone. And it's a big thing for humanity to learn to do, to just be the peaceful observer of yourself, what you feel, what you are feeling, and what is going on right now. Definitely.
Yeah. So be in stillness, listen to your meditations because they're exquisite and life-changing. And also, a simple phrases I use are things like, show me how to embody more light today. Show me how to embody more light, or I'm welcoming in the new light codes into all of myself for my awakening. Phrases like that to welcome it in, as opposed to resist.
Oh, sorry, did I interrupt you?
No, not at all. No.
Sorry, they just came in there, so I didn't want to overrun if you were speaking. Sorry. They were saying, but they would add to that. They would say more so the feeling, because what they like to encourage people to do is really get to know your sensorial energetic self. They're saying there are some areas where, and I can say for myself included, having been very heady in my previous times, they're saying they are noticing quite big pockets of the developing community or conscious developing community are getting held up with mental grip still, trying to do everything mentally. They're saying what they would like to offer as an encouragement is try to feel the sensation more. Even if you don't feel much at the moment, the more you encourage the perception or sensorial nature of your feeling of energy, the more that you can actually transform. Because they're saying part of the difficulty is the human mind has been conditioned to grip. It's been conditioned to, and they're saying the mind's version of understanding, and it's been said before, is control. Whereas the heart's version of understanding is compassion, which is a complete release and allowing of flow and seeing everything as it is. In one way of speaking it, as I would say. And so there's just saying for those people who are struggling, just ask yourself, are you doing this more mentally than you should, and do you just need to relax, come down into your heart center and just be more playful? And they're saying it's not about mentally making yourself come out of your mind and go down to your heart. They're saying it's about really relaxing the mind, being really joyful and playful with your mind. Don't bash your mind, they're saying. Just be playful with it, because it's how it's been trained to operate. But it will learn a better way. And the more you can just be playful, be kiddish, goof around, do something silly, get in that energy, then you naturally just settle into your heart center. You don't make yourself go there. You settle in there, quite naturally just by doing that. Then you get the feeling of your higher self much better, the flow of the energies. And they're saying in a way, you're kind of moving from a paradigm where a lot of this work was done mentally because that was the availability at the time. And now you're moving, you're making that jump over to more being into the heart intelligence center. And so the mind will become an instrument of the heart rather than the governor of things. So that's another aspect they're saying. That's the Arcturian lady who's back again saying that as well. So sorry, they just wanted to drop, they
No,
come
it's
in and they kind
wonderful.
of...
No, absolutely beautiful. Yeah, it's also precious and valuable. But a phrase I often think of when I'm dropping into that state is just imagine that you're butter melting in the sun.
That's a
Have that,
great...
just complete surrender, bliss, stillness, that it's beautiful.
Yeah.
So I'd love to ask you, and it's a slightly unfair question, David, because you're not an astrologer, but next year on the 2nd of August 2027, we have the longest eclipse of the century. It's 6 minutes, 22 seconds, and it's going to be at its darkest point over the Egyptian pyramids, which feels hey presto, super powerful. And the astrology is very powerful. That whole chart is very powerful. So is there anything you can tell us about the potency of that eclipse? Because it feels like a real peak point in our evolution. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yeah. So my higher self, my Arcturian love light family, source intelligence, would you like to offer any information on this? So the Arcturians and the Syrians are coming forward on this, which is kind of interesting because I believe the Syrians had quite an involvement in the development of that
Yes.
culture as well. So that doesn't surprise me, I guess, in a way. Okay, so my higher self and my love light family, please go ahead. So we would like to, they're saying we would like to offer this as this is a Syrian male who's here. He's saying, coming back to the idea of energy streams and alignments and when things open up and when things flow, it's he's showing me an image of something. It's a little bit like certain points, certain gateways will open and allow flows to flow through and allow energies to work in certain ways. He's saying this is one such time, and it's a very powerful time. He's saying that he can't go into specific details, he's saying, but he can say that their ancient civilizations were very purposefully setting up these ancient structures to function in a very particular way.
Mm.
And they have an interconnection, and they operate with, okay, he's sort of doing this a little bit. Okay. He's saying part of the reason is because there's active ongoings right now, which he can't be too specific on. But he would like to give the audience or people listening a little bit of a flavor of to your question. So he's saying that imagine the earth much like your own body, where your body has a lot of vessels, of blood vessels, other things, your whole nervous system, a lot of things interconnecting, flowing, opening, just a very, very dynamic system of exchange. And he's saying that your planet is returning to this, and a lot of those ancient systems are switching back on, as the earth cleanses and clears a lot of those nodal points, particularly where a lot of those artifacts are built. Very purposefully, things are switching back on. And they're going to be done in stages because they're saying humanity and the earth itself is not ready for a full switch on, so to speak. It has to be done in stages for acclimation to take place. And they're saying it's very important. And he's saying it's much like these waves. Throughout the entire process, you get a surge and then you get acclimation. Surge, acclimation, surge, acclimation. That's how it mostly operates. And he's saying it's the same thing with this one. So something is going to be taking place. He's showing me something, but he doesn't want me to talk about that. Okay. So, but suffice to say that you are very correct, he's saying, in where your question was going. And but he's saying more can be revealed after the event when it takes place. So yeah, it seems like there's quite an interesting going on around that, which they want to be a little bit, sparse with some of the information, but sometimes they do. If something is an ongoing thing that they want to make sure is all works beautifully, then they won't necessarily say everything. So yeah, so he's backing away now. He just has said thank you for that opportunity. So yeah, I hope that somewhat helps your question.
There's going to be a huge amount of human interest in that because it's it really is enormously powerful. So
Yeah, I was going to say I understand that because I'm quite keen on knowing more about that stuff myself. But often they'll tell me, "Well, that's enough for the moment as well." So it's like, and I think it's kind of necessary as well, because not only for the ongoing operation aspect, but also because of the fact that um, part of the beauty that the teams that I work with often do as the way they assist is they love for people to have their own experience. They often mention about, knowing knowledge is one thing, but actually living the energy of something and getting your direct sensorial perception of what just took place can often be very different. And so that's one thing I find they're often very keen on letting people do, which I think is a very beautiful and very good way of doing it, because we're all sometimes too keen about wanting to run on about giving lots of information, but I think the experience of things is the real key.
Yeah, and again, it's learning to feel it through the body rather than just learn it through the mind. It's being in the moment
Yes.
in the body, isn't it? That's really important. And that's why
Yes.
it's really important to keep your nervous system calm, a lot of
Yes.
grounding,
Yes.
breath work, candle gazing, meditation, anything, hug a tree, be in nature, anything that grounds your nervous system, because there's just so much
Yes.
happening that's changing so rapidly that we haven't lived at this pace of change before. I think it's important to say.
If you don't mind, yeah, my higher self, and actually I feel the core intelligence within me. I mean, the source intelligence and my our high selves are the same, but it's the stepping down expression. So sometimes I use them a bit interchangeably. But that what's coming through is saying that yes, humanity has been taught and has learned to overuse the mind in ways the mind was never meant to be used. So yes, you are supposed to have intellectual function. You were supposed to have intuitive function, but those are supposed to be instruments or extensions of the heart intelligences, which is where we're going back to now. And as the way I see it in my own experience, that's been one of the biggest difficulties in moving through my own path, in making that transition from being very intellectual and very head-centered, where my whole world was intellectual, to being, of the heart center and my mind being an extension of it. It wasn't, for my path, it wasn't easy. But they're saying, but I forgot the joyful, playful bit because, I was always being too serious about things, and but after a while that message sank in, and they were saying that that's the key. You're not being silly by being playful. You're being more of your true nature when you're being playful, because the true nature of source intelligence is playful. It's inquisitive, it's wonderful, it's delightful, it's all those beautiful things. Those aren't whimsical things. Those are natural qualities of that energy. And you can quite easily return to them just by enveloping yourself in them and doing that. Yeah, sorry, that's just something to add there.
It's really, it's just been a beautiful conversation. I mean, you shared so richly with us, Dave, and given us so much inspiration and excitement about, the kind of future we can start to look forward to imminently. I mean, we're absolutely in it now. So in this crucible of change. So, God bless you for all that. Is there anything else you'd like to leave us with before we close?
Yeah, so my higher self, my source intelligence, my Arcturian love light family, my Palladian love light family, or my Syrian love light family. Is anything that you would like to add here? I know that you mentioned, my higher self, that you'd like to add a message before we started recording. Yes, so it's the core intelligence within me. It's a message of hope, and but it's not hope as we would define it in human terms. It's not a oh my, I hope this works out. It's saying, rest assured, dear humanity, that everything is working and everything is flowing. And as has been said, far better than was expected 10, even 20 or 30 of your years ago. You are making transformative progress in ways that were not expected to be, as was just said, many decades ago. And as been said in this conversation, many, many gateways and openings are opening daily for you, by what you are doing, the energy that you have inside you, and that you allow to emanate from you. And so here is the message. Relax, humanity. This is already well in hand. What it is asked of you is to simply relax into your being. Enjoy your day, enjoy your family, enjoy yourself, your life. Celebrate yourself, celebrate what you do. Let go of the harshness, let go of all judgment. There is nothing to judge. You have done and are doing exceptional work. No matter how you feel about yourself, whether you feel you're not doing enough, whether you feel exhausted, simply being the expression that you are, emanating the living light intelligence within you, is exactly what you came here to do. And yes, there have been clearing patches, and there are clearing patches, and there will be perhaps more to clear depending on where your path is leading. But the most important thing, and the reason for the clearing, is so that you can emanate more, so that you can ground more of the real you into your human form and experience. And this, in its nature, is of joy, it is of beauty, it is of sweetness, of kindness, it is of flow. Do not be scared or ashamed to be those qualities, for they will effortlessly take you into your core. They will effortlessly remind you of who you really are. For as it has been said, this is not an intellectual exercise, dear souls. You are relaxing back into who you really are, the real you. And in doing so, you are learning to let go of every intellectual, shall it be said, facade or identity, or however you choose to call it. That which you hold on to, that is not in fact you. You see, dear souls, the closer you become to yourself, the more you let go. And when you have completely let go, you will have returned to your true self. It is that simple, sweet ones. And so when you find yourself struggling, ask yourself this question. How and why are you holding on? And what is it that you are holding on to? And what is it that you fear to lose by letting go of it? Because it is not you. And so, sweet ones, with this message, remember simplicity, playfulness, joy, sweetness, and relaxation. It is asked of you to practice and delight in these, for these simple measures will help you accelerate far faster than you can possibly imagine. It really is that simple, sweet ones. You are all so dearly loved. There are immense civilizations that are looking after many facets of this unfolding project. You are in good hands. You are in the perfect hands of your higher self in every moment. And in those times when you feel that your higher self is not there, those are simply the times when you have a lot of, shall we say, human stuff coming through, passing out, and your higher self is taking care of you and assisting this purging with you. But as it passes out, it saturates your ability to perceive and feel your higher self. So it gives you the illusionary perception that your higher self is not there, is not helping you. But this is not true, sweet ones. It is not true. The opposite is in fact true. Your higher self is more deeply with you, more deeply assisting. But like being in a room that you were once in silence and can perceive the slightest sound is now filled full of people shouting at the top of their voices, screaming for your attention as they pass through out the door. That is the analogy of what it is to have human stuff come up and out and leave. But did your higher self leave you? No. It was within you, within that room all along, helping everything pass from one door out the other with as much grace and as ease as you will allow. And that is another key. Allowance, sweet ones. Allow your process to unfold and be aware where your beloved minds may engage and try to engage and sort things out. There is nothing to sort out, sweet ones. Peacefully allow and peacefully observe. And with this message today, it is wished for you the sweetest love flow that you will allow yourself to connect with inside your center, in relaxation, in joy and peace. You are love intelligence. You always have been, and you always will be. And so it is.
That was really beautiful, David. No, you've just given us so much to feel wonderful about, hopeful, excited, inspired. It was really beautiful. That was jam-packed of golden nuggets.
I know. It just kept coming. It's like
it was extraordinary. It was just, you couldn't have got any more in. I mean, it was just absolutely jam-packed with wisdom, higher, obviously much higher galactic and ancient wisdom, and it was really beautiful. It's like I can't be more grateful for your time and the opportunity to talk to you again, because these conversations are always so precious for me personally, and for everybody listening. I hope you've really loved it as much as I have in conversation with David. So
thank you very much, Pam. And thank you everyone who's listening. And again, the teams often congratulate everyone on the work they're doing, because and that's not for empty reason or just nice, I guess you're just being nice, so to speak.
Light.
Yes, it is really meant, because I really get the feeling of just how in awe they are. Because again, it's so easy as a human being to look up at high mighty beings, saying, wow, look at them, they're so cool. And what have we got down here? Sometimes it's easy to see it that way, but the way they see it the opposite. They look at us in utter reverence, because to come down here and do what we do in the mix of what we have to do it in takes an immense amount of high level being to do that. And I'm not kidding when I say that. I really mean that. The souls that have come here were selected because of their very, very deep and profound experience in being able to ascend under difficult circumstances, in difficult energetics and environments, having learned that and have that in you. So if you are here in human form on this planet, you are one of those qualified people or beings. So, it wasn't just a case of, jump in there, just help yourselves. No, that aspect is being handled very carefully, because the right souls in the right place at the right time have to be there to do what they're here to do. So just remember that when you're not feeling so good about yourself, or just remind yourself that you selected yourself, and the teams that are part of the process of who comes to incarnate here, recognize the light that you have and agreed in council that, yes, you should go here and you should do this. So just remember that, that's the light that you have inside you, and that's why you're here. So definitely.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And thank you for that. And it's, it is a courageous lifetime, I sense.
Oh, yes.
Truly courageous lifetime of being the bridge builders to a very different level of consciousness. And
Yes.
and when we can see it in that context, it's enormously exciting. And I think just occasionally, as you know, you've shared with us tonight, we need to catch our breath and pat ourselves on the back as we look down the mountain and
Yeah.
realize how far
Yeah.
we've come up the mountain. And it's been a
Yeah.
hard trek, and you know, there's more to go, but we can relax more knowing that we're beyond that tipping point now. That's what I feel energetically. It's like a snowball rolling down a hill now. You know, it's getting
Well,
easier.
oh, sorry. So you were still
No, no,
speaking.
it's just getting easier because there seems to be such a momentum behind this new consciousness that it feels easier now than it did a year or two ago. Much easier, I feel.
Yes, and I feel all along because you know they've always reminded me, David, just relax, just let go, it's fine. In times when I've gotten hickledy pickledy about things that were going on for me, and it's so true. And I feel that the actual tipping point of this actually took place quite some time ago,
Mm.
but it's like it was that boing, and we sort of tipped the balances, and we were working our way up. And I think that's it. Just it really is important for people to remind themselves, please just if there's one human bit of advice I could, turn off your TV, stop watching the news,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
well, you call it the news, I call it something else, but it's like,
Get rid of your television. That's a really good idea.
yes. I mean, I have to say, you know, just even just give it a week, you know, turn off all the social media you might, I mean, I'm not just suggesting you can do what you like, but you know, I found when you just like give that stuff a break, you'll notice such a significant change in your peace, your balance, everything will start to settle down. You'll realize the actual agitation that was being whipped up inside you without you realizing it, just by doing that stuff, just simple little things like that. You know, I think that was the message they were trying to say. Get on with enjoying your life. You know that you're not in amongst this serious stuff where everything's about to go wrong. No, just put that to one side. That's not your concern. You know, just be joy, emanate it, just enrich, fill the world with that. You know, that's how you're going to really move forward even faster. And at the same time, you're going to be really happy doing it. So, you know, definitely.
The more love and joy we feel, the more we're going to magnetize that in, and the more we do it in
Absolutely.
numbers, you know, it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So, no, I'm a great proponent for that. Even have t-shirts saying that, as yes, you may know. So, so, David, total joy to share with you. And yeah, I'm sure people will absolutely love this and just find it so valuable. It's just such grounded advice as well as being very high level advice. And yeah, I just really honor the time with you. And
Likewise, thank you very much. Yeah, definitely. I love, and you know what? I get so many comments from people saying, when you two get together, it was just, you know, you talk about the most brilliant things, and I really, you know, because you know, I think of you as such a wonderful friend and an amazing soul. The stuff that you've gone out and done, and the work that you do, and yeah, we tend to conjure up a lot of cool topics and have some great energy creators. So absolutely, it's the same for me with you as well.
bliss. Well, pure joy, pure joy. So thank you, David, from the bottom of my heart, and thank you everybody who's been listening. And just hope you absolutely love this. And remember, we're rocking it. We're
Oh,
rocking it.
yes. Yeah, lots of love to everyone. Hope you got
Loads of
a lot
love.
out
God
of
bless.
it.
Bye.
Lay down my
Okay. Wasn't that wonderful? Okay. So, so this is after that, Aagia PAL will lead for us for 1 minute with heart pumping. Aagia PAL, is that okay?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in a very different space right now. This is wonderful. So why don't we just get comfortable and feel into our heart center and listen to your heart as it's pumping. And let's do a 1 minute of heart breath with breath of fire.
Okay.
And begin. And please stay with heart breath and listen. Listen from your divine, intelligent voice to decide who or what will be your Healy. What will magnetize to you as your Healy. And your Healy, as we know, could be someone else or yourself. And your focus, just allow it. If it needs to change from different Heelys, just allow it. And so let's begin 1 minute. And next, let's do 3 minutes of dynamite diamond. And we'll focus strongly on our third eye energy and direct that diamond light. You might envision a diamond, a brilliant, just envision that brilliant diamond, laser like power light, and send it to and focus it on whatever came to you as your Healy. And if you feel like there's too much energy, just move into heart breath and then go back to your third eye energy. Okay, so let's do 3 minutes beginning now. And please inhale and staying in the space of deep gratitude for this diamond light and the gift of this diamond light and the power of it. And exhale. And now Siri Gian will lead our CNR meditation.
Thank you. Okay. This is for strong heart breath. And can you make it higher? Yes. Thank you. Okay, so this is 5 minutes CNR, conscious no reality. Strong heart breath, belly breath, nose inhale 6 seconds, nose exhale 6 seconds from out of your heart center. Complete love. Slide from fear. Let go from any of your nasty, difficult, old stuff. Just be peace. No normal reality, no thinking, or no EDS. Be present. But only feel. Just be light. Okay. So inhale and exhale and begin. Inhale. Exhale. 2 minutes to become awareness and then understand what happened from EDS. Use your notes. Continue. Inhale. Exhale. And breathe. Okay, Aagia PAL.
Yeah, I focused on myself, or a younger version, and what David talked about. I've been really trained to be in my head, and so I asked the diamond light uh, to relax that and allow me to sink more deeply into my heart. And that felt uh, really good and very different. And what came up was a dream I had had, having dreams lately, about me standing on the second floor in um, the house and looking down. It's an old schoolhouse. So I'm standing on the second floor. I'm looking down at this big room, and there were all people, all milling around, and all ages, and I making noise and smoking, and I felt like I just wanted to run back into the room upstairs, and almost like, no, I'm not ready to deal with all of these people, kind of thing. And it was really striking that David talked about kind of a similar thing, situation. And so what I did was I opened the doors and allowed all these people to leave. I didn't push them out. I intended them out. And I began to sink more into my heart, and recognize that it's definitely going to be a challenge to make my intellect an instrument of my heart. My higher self, I asked for support and guidance and help. And I asked Dynamite Diamond, if I could then focus on the evil in the world. And the voice came back, because I wanted to, melt the evil in the world, like melt like butter in the sun, like Pam was saying. But the voice I got was, no, don't do that. You focus on love and love only. And wherever you focus the dynamite diamond, that intent, that will be love, your intention for love. And whatever needs to happen, love will take care of it. And so it was quite a powerful, and I feel a little bit of, wow, I got to drink a lot of water kind of thing. I got to really settle and ground, because it was a pretty powerful experience. It's all good, but now like he was talking, and now I've got to acclimate to it, and before going to the next phase. And I think there's more, but I think that would be enough for me to share right now. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Yes. You know what? I have another friend who would say that about love, but then also she's thought that everything also had evil. But what you were talking about was exactly right.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Very good. You're welcome. Thank you.
Yes. Okay, so Gian Dasprem.
Satnam. Very powerful. So today I was being shown the breath and waves, and how gravity opens when there's less stress, and just the truth in being of the gift of that we, like when we come together. And what I was just showed a lot of visuals, and just trying to come back to that breath, right? And I ended up seeing like dolphins, the way they go under the water, and they speak when they go underwater, but they can also speak when they come out of the water. And I was noticing the differences of the inhale and the exhale and the balance of that. And I could hear Rama Dasa Sase So Hung in the background. So I sort of started following that wave, and I was brought to this place, where it's just, we're peaceful at some point. And I've been returning to the water to sort of relax my body a little bit, and to notice the letting go, how there's a certain amount of buoyancy there within the body of getting in touch with some of those places, and just for me is with my deep healing journey now inside of my body and looking towards that. And I was just shown, you know, to pick out maybe a couple of new prayers, like do a random a hukum, whether I pick out a number and go to the number, or whether I go to a page and try to pick out a page. I don't have a physical copy right now, so I guess I'll pick a number. Picking a daily hukum. And you know, the hook from the book is on the shelf, and it has something to do with the self. So the less pushing and pulling, you know, will come through the hukum for the stillness. And I can see Baba Siri Gian floating in the water, and the dolphins are sort of greeting him in these ways. So 6 seconds is 1/10 of a minute, and you know, we can just sort of let those things go and expand of the letting go for the door to open, the welcomeness for that opening, and being the greeter and the receiver. So noticing ourselves coming into that other position, back to the role playing, and maybe some casting of, you know, passing through those places where we can find forgiveness through the first person, you know, through the experiential being, and sort of being held in that way that we can, you know, find a way for that to come into a peaceful way. Yeah. And I'm being reminded of the horse again, and how you know, how our hooves, you know, we're behooved at sometimes so we can behave. So being in that light and holding on to that manifestation, and being able to also fulfill the channel by letting go and seeing the way back, or which way it was we came, for those noticings. And the power of our prayer and how it works every week, we step forward a little bit more, and to also notice that there are thousands of other groups right now doing very similar things that we're doing, to put that love vibration, to put that freedom vibration, and to allow some ease to come with it, within that releasing. And we can notice with the rising and the sun, or the turning of the earth and the light, how it moves. And back to the Waheguru. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Okay. So, maybe, let's see. It would be great if Jagat Guru would like to talk, but I know that she has another situation. So, Jagat Guru, would you like to talk? Okay, so now we will, this is from Harimandir.
Yeah. I had two things show up on my email last night. One of which was, what's he call himself now? Neutrino astrology. It used to be Catalyst Yogi. And he is saying pretty much a lot of what we've been talking about. He said, and he's talking about the new moon coming up, but as a portal of embodied truth. And he says, your soul doesn't want performance, it wants presence.
Start that again.
Your soul doesn't want performance, it wants presence.
Good.
And this, I don't remember when the new moon is or when it was, but it opened the gate of the voice of influence. but not the old voice, not the one that performs or persuades or protects. It is the voice that's been buried under silence, under spiritual gaslighting, which we've seen, and karmic entanglements. Your power doesn't come from being understood. It comes from being embodied. So you take it on and accept it. We're entering a cycle of truth-telling, false leader collapse, and radical voice reclamation. There's one. Your voice is a temple. You don't need to be ready. You just need to be true. And that really struck for me because I think, like Aagia PAL, I'm into perfection rather than just go out there. And if it's true, it will be heard and it will be accepted, or it will have an effect. I've been teaching everyone to, as we know, your voice is your greatest teacher. Not your thought, but your voice. When you say it, when you say what you're thinking. And it's so easy to say, I can't do this, or I don't know this, or I can't, I don't, I wouldn't. But every time you want to say that, you won't know that you're going to say it until after it's out there and it's said. But recognize it and then rephrase it into the past. I haven't done this. I couldn't do this. I just put the verb into the past so it doesn't lock in or essentially close the gate. And see if I can. There was there's something on YouTube. It's a Chinese man speaking, and it's AI, but it's also true. And following Katlas Yogi's video, I haven't seen the video, I just was reading the introductions, was also, it's right on the edge of remembering. It just expanded what I've just said. So those are two indications that the answer to your question and your answer to what I thought of this video was already given to me last night before I even saw it. So that's the kind of synchronicity or prescience or whatever that comes to me. And one other thing, in addition to my goddaughter's husband who was taken off life support last night from being beaten up, my kind of honorary goddaughter who grew up with my daughter in the neighborhood, and she was had to be medevaced last night for very serious liver problems. I don't know if she will get through this, but I had the picture of her all in with lots of tubes and lots of monitors, and in the CCU or the emergency room. But on her bed too, her partner brought her Bible and her mother's ashes in a cross and flowers. So I guess one question is, if someone is getting ready to pass but hasn't passed, what is the similarity between a call after the fact and the chant to the person before passing?
Do you remember? I remember one time that Siri Gian, I think it was when Sadhu was here, and she was so sad because her friend was dying. She sounded like she was almost at the verge of tears. And Siri Gian said, let's chant Akal for them. And I just loved that because to me, it was celebrating the part that is undying, regardless of the person being alive or dead.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay.
And the other thing I did do for the two deaths, or for the two people who were still alive, I was just singing "I love you" over and over and over again. So that was what I did at the bedside.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. Well, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay. God bless you. Okay. Japa Saraswati.
I didn't really take notes. Can I leave it with that wonderful remembrance from that time with Sadhu? I just really sat in the meditation of it, and I felt like it felt like a squeeze, but in a really good way, like to squeeze out the the muck, the rats jumping ship, you know? Like I've been having this pain in my back that I think I just pulled something probably from too much yoga, and then I thought it was going to get better, and then I went for a bike ride and I maybe did too much on it, maybe, or maybe something else, but anyway, it felt worse. But what it feels like is like like a squeeze in that it's almost like squeezing out, not in an aggressive or a forceful way, but like that it's squeezing out the karmas for the rats to jump ship. And so I just kind of have been embracing it. And then it's like where it's attached on my back, I feel like it's related to twisting and squeezing. So I've just been meditating with that.
Wonderful. Thank you, dear. Because that thinks about me. And do you remember I was talking about my, what do you call it? Something or other. Oh, the totem for me is a snake. And at that time, I felt like my skin was letting go. And what you were talking about sound very similar to
Yeah.
let go of all of that stuff,
Yeah.
old
That's
stuff.
what it feels like. That's what it feels like for me.
There you go. And we're still going with cleaning with all our stuff.
Yeah, big time.
Yes. So isn't this wonderful?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and Harimandir, could you send us what you shared from Catalyst Yogi?
Yes, I could do that.
Thank you.
Yes, that would be wonderful. He is very amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Is he still doing that?
Yes, and he's living in Hawaii.
Oh,
He's under neutrino, what is it? Neutrino astrology.
oh, okay.
But yes, he's still doing it.
Good. And so when you're going to send that email, also allow the rest of us to go to Catalyst Yogi so that he can have a situation to have, what do you say, subscribe that. Okay, thank you.
I didn't quite understand that, but you will have when I forward it to you, you will have ways to get in touch with him or to say, please.
Perfect. Exactly right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. And also, two things that I use heart breath all the time. And then what happened yesterday, there were quite a lot of other people that I went through. And I had no negative and no worries, but simply allow soul's truth, and they could figure out what to do. Amazing. And also we went to Best Buy, and I had all those things that I wanted to put it together, and it worked okay because my daughter was also helping me. Seems so simple, but it's not. It was great. And and then during the night, I could just feel so many other things that were positive and working well. So, anyway, that's what's happening for me. Oh, and also for Diamond, it was for the whole world, and I could feel it's like a dawn, DODAWN, could see this light from the dawn, and it's coming from pure crystal light, and it's more and more. So here we go. Isn't this amazing to come with each other? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, was there anything else? And next week, we're going to have a bit from Bashar. Do you ever know about Bashar?
I really like Bashar. Does
Yes.
anybody else listen to him?
No, not usually.
Yeah.
Oh, he's interesting. There's some
Mhm.
things that I don't completely connect with, and other things that I really strongly do.
Okay. So that will be next week. And then, you know what, Aagia PAL, that video is so good. It's really good. And I'm not sure, because it has to do with for figuring out the videos are from BabaJi. So you can get that video now if you want to. And then also you can talk more that you just talked with Dr. Clements and Pam Gregory.
Mm,
Isn't this wonderful that we're really having some great understanding?
it's amazing.
Yes, thank you so much.
Mm.
Okay.
Siri Gian,
Yes.
if there's anything that you can give me to give my goddaughter about the her husband, Jeff Brunn, how he's doing on the other side, that would give her comfort for having to make the decision to allow him to die. That would be lovely.
Well, okay. First of all, we need other people for him because it was evidently very difficult life for him. And so, and it's so simple to do heart breath. And could you tell your other people continue with heart breath to let go of any old wounds and difficulties, and let that be it's like what do you call it? It's a certain kind of well that comes straight up, kind of like at Yosemite.
A geyser?
Yeah, kind of like that. And as as he lets go, then that water is light coming up, like what we're all finding about. Harimandir, do you understand that?
Thank you very much.
Okay, good. Okay, so now, Gian Dasprem, would you sing our song?
Okay. So we'll do one version of the long time sun with a long short nam at the end. Okay, so let's inhale together and exhale and inhale to begin. May the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. Guide your way on. Guide your way on.
Okay. Sat Nam. Bless you all and send pure love. Yay. This is F. Okay. Love you all.
Have a great week, everyone. Blessings.
Love to you.
Satnam.
Blessings.
Hi, everybody.
At